Hola YouTube, my name is Ricardo Lino and I'm a wheel addict. What if there would be a skate that you could torque very good and backslide very good? Then you could do this very good. Check this out.
I love it when you couscous. Aphrodite, Ventus, Dionysus, Hera, Hermes, Icarus, Narcissus, Medusa, Ephesus, Ashalalala, Sis, Minerva, Ecobubus. I love it when you couscous. Aphrodite, Ventus, Hera, Hermes, Icarus.
Eight times the power.
So right after the winter clash this year, Sunshine sent me this box. And then inside this box, that was back then full, there were these skates. And these are the Razor Sculpt Gold. Now, something that you should know is when you buy the skates in this box, they don't come mounted, meaning that the frame with wheels don't come together with the boots. And the reason for that being is so that the box is a little bit smaller, just like they did with the Remedy skates. And when you have a smaller box, if you order them online, it's actually cheaper because it's smaller space, obviously, even if the weight is the same. And for shops, it's also easier to keep the stock. So good on Sunshine for that. But if you're a beginner and if you never had a pair of aggressive inline skates, if this is your first pair of inline skates, and if the frames are not built on the skate, all you need to do is there's two screws here, one in front, one in the back. All you need to do is to put the frame in the right position, tighter in the front, tighter in the back, and that is it. It's called UFS, it's a universal frame system, and you can actually change for other frames in the future, which is actually a very good thing. Now, let's start talking about the skate. And one of the things that I usually complain, I don't know if I can say the word complain, but yeah, maybe that is. I usually say that the stock wheels from most of the aggressive skates aren't good enough. So the truth is, I wasn't really expecting these wheels to work that well. I was already expecting, yeah, I'll go out, I'll film these, and then I'll come back home, and then if I'm gonna keep skating them, I'm gonna change the wheels. But these wheels surprised me. Yes, they are ground control wheels, and sometimes you read some stuff on the internet, Facebooks, whatever, about the wheels not lasting a long time. I actually, with previous wheels from Ground Control, didn't have the best experience, but with these ones, these are 59mm 90A. It's not really a flat profile, it's not really a round profile, kind of like a long, mellow round profile. They work, they are fast. And yes, they are black wheels, and I usually also say that the natural color of the polyurethane, which is more like a milky white beige color, it's usually faster and stronger. I can't really talk about the durability of these wheels yet, but I can tell you that they were pretty fast. They actually surprised me. And if I'm talking about the speed of the wheels, obviously these wheels come mounted with bearings, right? So I don't really know what bearings are here. Should be some generic ABAC 7s. Maybe ABAC 5, like they come on most of these stock skates, but they're fast. It's got to be the mix, right? It's got to be the bearings the wheels and the frame. This skate comes with a Featherlite 3 frame, and it's the third version of the Featherlite frame. I do know that the Featherlite 2 frame didn't add aluminum spacers, and then the biggest change they did from the Featherlite 2 to the Featherlite 3 is that they got some aluminum spacers in between the axles. It's basically something that will make the bridge from the frame to the axles. So there's some aluminum doing that bridge, basically some spacers. And those spacers with these bearings and these wheels made this skate actually pretty fast. So good. Speed-wise, they got like a thumbs up from me. Then coming to the boot, and that's where I was the most excited about this skate. I can tell you that one of my favorite skates of all time was a pair of skates that I had in 2001, and those were the Razor Shima 2s. And the Razor Shima 2s, they basically had a similar boot to these. It was, back then they didn't call them cults, but it was like this style, hard boot style boot from Razors, the exact same mold, but here on top they had some soft boot, how can I say it, some leather making the lace cover, and then they had some white cuffs, some white backslide plate, and some super toe liner. But feeling wise, that's exactly how this felt. And back then it was very hard to get razors in Portugal. So after those Razor Shima 2s, I didn't add other razors in the same style boot for a while. Nowadays, it's actually very easy to get skates because most of the shops, they have an online shop or whatever. So you can just buy them online, or if you live in a big city, some of those big cities have like skate shops. It's just easier to get a pair of razors nowadays, even if there's less shops. Anyway, getting back to this boot, it just reminded me how good they were and how good they still are. So they felt like super supportive, awesome, and they were very comfortable, but without being super wide. Some of the most comfortable skates that we have out there, they're actually very wide, and that takes a little bit on support, right? These ones, they're not super wide. Something that I like about the slim boots is that when you skate ramps, when you skate bowls, when you skate any type of transition, you're actually more confident, because if the boot is super wide and if you're gonna go fast, you're scared of when you turn or when you carve, if the boot touches, you slide out and you bail bad. If the boot is super wide, that can happen, right? So that is one thing. And then again, if the boot is super wide, you also don't have the same support. So that's probably the reason why I like this one. Now, the other thing is, when I look at the skate, they actually look super long. Maybe because I just came from skating a Fifth Element from Rossi's, and let me show you the difference. So, let me just show you this here. This is the Razor Sculpt Gold. This is the Rossi's Fifth Element Yuto Goto. And check this out. If you look at the skate, let me see, maybe from here you can see it better. The heels are against the bench, and you can see that this one is a lot longer. When you look from the top, it doesn't really look bad at all. I actually like how they look from the top, and while seeing the clips, I actually also like the way they look on my feet, so I can actually see myself skating these often. Especially because they also felt lighter. I'm not the biggest nerd when it comes to having lighter or heavier skates. I don't really jump over things that much. I don't jump to very high rails or anything like that. But even when I did, I always felt like having a skate that wraps around your foot properly was more important than having a light skate. Because if the skate is well attached to your foot, well, if you get there, your skate will go with you. And you can get the proper power transfer you need to get there. So that is it. But talking about the weight of the skate, well, this is a size European 43. Let me call the Fun Police, which is now how I call to my new scale. It's the Fun Police. And if I put the Razor Sculpt on the Fun Police, they are 1,780 grams, and just in comparison to the skates that I was skating before. And yes, these skates, they have some solar frames, 4 wheels the same size, the alumite blocks, and it's obviously going to be heavier. But 2,112 grams. It's about 300 grams heavier than this. Now, I'm gonna keep going, and I'm not gonna be talking just about how supportive they feel or how fast they feel. I'm actually gonna talk about the liner. And the liner, just like the wheels. If you saw one of my last videos about the Rain V3 liners, you heard me saying that I didn't really enjoy the previous Razor's liners. I somehow felt they were a little bit too wide here on the tongue, and I didn't really enjoy them. I don't know. This is exactly what I was talking about, but they feel good on this boot. It's the most basic liner. I mean, there's no lacing. It's a very basic liner, stitch all the way around. There's no Lycra in the front area to expand. There's nothing special about this liner. There is nothing special. If you look at the insole, it's just simple. But funny enough, it just works really, really good. I skated these skates for, I don't know, the day that I filmed the video, I was skating them for about 2.5 hours. I put on the skates, and you know that sometimes it takes a little bit of time. Just let me show you something else. This is what you have, a little bit of rubber, and on top it's a little bit of cardboard. This is the little insole that you will find in between the liner and the shell. So I actually skated them for about 2.5 hours, and I put them on. And you know that sometimes there's a little bit of a breaking period that hurts your feet or anything like that. I didn't felt at all with these skates, and they actually kept on feeling better and better and better. And if we are talking about the skate that, because of the price, because this skate costs 200 euros, 199, it's going to probably be one of the first options for someone to buy their first aggressive skate. This is exactly what you want. It's a skate that feels comfortable straight out of the box. It has a good price, 199. It's good for the components that you have. I just said that the wheels actually work. I wasn't expecting these wheels to be this good. It has a frame that some of the top pros at the moment are using this frame. Man, I don't know. They're comfortable. They're not too wide, like I said before, which could be a problem for some people. They're fast. Now, the last thing that you might be thinking is, how do they grind? And that is nothing wrong that I can say about the way these skates grind. So if you look at the sole space, you will see there's some holes here. The reason why they're here is to reduce the grinding surface when you do sole grinds, or you do machios or anything with the sole space. And that it's supposed to make the soles faster on this skate. And especially with this frame that also has only some areas touching when you do grinding, sole grinding, or any machio or whatever, that means that when you grind, there's only a very tiny surface touching the obstacle that you're grinding, making it super fast. In theory, that's what it was planned, and it works. So that's all I can say. Now, the backslide plate, I know that there's a lot of people usually saying that they should bring back the old because it was more forgiving, the groove was a bit bigger, and they should bring it back. I don't know if I back that up. I can tell you that they did work really, really good for me with Torx, and it's one of those tricks that I have like this love-hate relationship. I used to be actually quite good with frontside and backside Torx, and since I started skating flat, I kind of lost it. But every time I put on an anti-rocker skate, I always try to do some Torx. And with these ones, I actually was doing them just like I used to. I could do Torx with grabs, Torx without grabs. I could put my other foot, whatever I wanted. So that's For torques, it works really, really good. For backslides, it works really, really good. So obviously, like I said in the beginning of this video, it's going to be very good for all those cross tricks, either alley-oop unities or Savannahs, how you call it, frontside unities. All those unity tricks actually worked really, really good for me with this. Something that it's quite weird is if I look to the sole plate from this direction, the front part of the sole plate doesn't have the same angle than the back. So the front part of the sole plate is like my hand, and the back part of the sole plate is like my hand too. I don't know if this is made on purpose or not. I actually don't know. Again, like I said, it does work very good for soles and topside tricks. I can't complain at all about the way that these skates grind. And if this was made on purpose or not, I don't know, but I know that it works. Also, something that it's good to mention is that the negative space on these skates, it's a lot smaller than most of the skates on the market right now. Just as an example, I'm gonna show you the skate that I was skating. This side, just the negatives are next to each other, right here. The negative space on these skates, it's a lot smaller, but you can still do them. I would say probably if you one of those guys that want to do more negative tricks, you might be looking for a slimmer frame. Maybe a solo frame would be a good frame for this, because being slimmer will give you a little bit more sole space. But to be quite honest, at the moment, I don't really think that I should even change anything on this skate, because it just works the way it is. Now, I did try to put, I think this is even the wrong one, but you can actually see what I'm saying. I tried to put the rain liners in it and check what happens, because the rain liner is a V cut, and this one, it's just a regular, it's not even flat, it's a little bit higher in the back, the cuff. If you put these liners, the cuff is going to touch the back of your leg. So you either need to cut the cuff a little bit, or you might need to use a little bit of a shock absorber, and then your foot goes like that and covers that space. This could be a solution to skate the liner that I said in one of the previous videos that is one of my favorite liners at the moment, or you can actually just skate any other liner. I know that they will fit with some MyFit liners, and I know that they will also fit with the Intuition liners for sure. So that could be another good bet, because those are all very, very good liners. And that is it, man. I would say, like, if someone is looking for a skate to start, or if someone that already skates for a long time is looking for something that it's narrow, that it's going to be good for ramp skating, but also very good for, I don't even know, I think it's just a very good all-around skate. It's just a very, very good all-around skate that it's being sold at a very affordable price. It usually comes with good components. Maybe the liner might be the thing that you might need to change after a couple of weeks skating, if you skate very often, because of the thickness or the quality of the foams compared to some of the liners that you have in the market right now. But straight out of the box, you have a very, very good skate for a very appealing price. So that is it. There is a link in the description for this. You can buy it at addonskate.com, but there will be the link in the description. And if you use code Lino, you will get a little discount. That discount you can use it to buy one of my WHEELADDICT shirts. You will see it. There's a link in the description for that too. Now, with that being said, I want you all to know that the skating clips that you saw in this video, they were filmed about 4 days ago, because I'm right now in quarantine with my family. I have a second baby to come anytime from now. So with the whole thing that it's happening right now, we chose to be isolated at home. So I'm not really skating outside that much, but right behind this wall, I got like a little play rail. So in the next couple of days, I might be making a couple of videos and a couple of challenges and stuff like that. So if you want to see that, if you want to see more of these reviews, or if you want to see more anything else skate related, what I'm going to do with these skates, like what liners, what frames, what wheels, whatever, just make sure to subscribe to this channel. There's the bell button on the side of the subscribe button. If you press on that bell, you will get notifications every time I upload one of these. And well, give me a thumbs up if you like it. It's very important that you guys interact more with these videos by liking it, or even if you don't like it, just let me know, because this is the way that YouTube will know what to do with these videos, if they should suggest it to more people, if they shouldn't. And it's actually important for skating so that more people see more skating videos and somehow we make skating grow. And now with that being said, I'm gonna end this video just like I end every other video, and that is by saying don't forget, never ever, why we all started skating, and that is because it's fun. Cheers and see you soon. Poof! This skate's gonna be so good for flips.
It got a little longer, so it seems. I burned out some speed.